So you feel like you had a good first date, but when you go for the second date, she either ghosts you or makes some BS excuse. Today, we gonna fix that. What up, homie? My name's Dave, and I put out new videos every Tuesday and every Friday to help you get the girls you want and become the man you're meant to be. Now listen, it's awesome to get a first date, but if you're not getting a second date consistently, it can be pretty frustrating. Today, you're gonna learn 7 reasons why that's happening and how to fix it. Make sure you stick around all the way to the end though, because I'm gonna show you a little trick that makes it 80% more likely that you get the second date. Let's get into it. What I mean by this is making the whole date feel way too formal. So maybe you go have dinner at a nice sit-down restaurant, you're sitting across from her, and you're like, oh, so what do you do for work? What type of politics are you into? What are you looking for in a relationship? Bro, you're gonna get that shit out of here. The problem with this is it creates this weird pressure that makes it really hard to connect with her and even harder to break through and make things sexual. What you wanna do instead is make it feel a lot more casual and chilled out. So there's 2 things you can do to fix this. First, avoid super formal date ideas like going to a nice fancy dinner or going to a movie. Instead, go for more casual date ideas like going to the bar and getting a drink or going for a walk in the park. These are much more casual settings versus sitting across from her at a dinner table for 2 hours. Second, you wanna go into the date with the mindset that you already know her. It's like you're meeting up with an old friend, right? This makes it easier for you to tease her, joke around, and overall just be chill. Here's an example. Hey, how's it going? Very good, very good. Hey, how you doing? Let's grab a seat, come on. This is one thing I do every time I go on a first date, and it immediately shows the girl like, hey, he's on my same team. I can talk to this guy, like we can shoot the shit together.
I think we should talk about it. Dive deep, let it go, see you want it. Talk.
So what I mean by this is there's not really any emotional connection there by the end of the date. She doesn't feel like you know her, and she doesn't feel like she knows you. Y'all are motherfucking strangers. Of course, she's not gonna wanna meet up with you for a second date because she's gonna feel like you guys didn't click. Maybe it was kind of awkward and it was just kind of like a nothing interaction. This happens way more often than you might think because guys really have a hard time breaking through that small talk barrier and actually connecting. So there's one easy way you can fix this. Think of 3 to 5 qualities you really want in a girl, whether it be in a relationship or just a hookup or whatever. For me, that's good fitness, likes to cook, and adventurousness. Then when you're on a date, ask her open-ended questions to try to figure out if she has those qualities. So if you really like girls who are adventurous, you can ask her, what's the most adventurous thing you've ever done? Or where's your favorite place you've traveled? This way, she gets to share about herself to you, and you're actually interested in what she's talking about.
One word is all it takes, babe. Bursting out in cold flames. Breathing, we are catching fire.
So this is basically being too platonic. You never break through that barrier and communicate with her on a sexual level. As a result, she doesn't see you as a sexual guy. You're just kind of this dude she had a nice conversation with, and it's kind of forgettable. So there's 2 quick ways you can break through that barrier and create some good sexual tension. First, occasionally while y'all are talking, look down at her lips and then back up at her eyes. So it looks kind of like this. Second, ask her what she finds sexy in a guy. Whenever I'm stuck in a platonic conversation and I'm having trouble breaking through, I'll ask her this question. It kind of shifts her mind a little bit and starts seeing me in a more sexual way. And it makes the conversation a lot more fun.
You just lead us up to me. I can show you my world. We can go through it all. You just leave it up.
A lot of guys will just wait around while they're on a date, hoping something's gonna happen. They'll get like 1 drink, 2 drinks. They look at the girl and hope she's gonna say something like this. Entonces, ¿tú quieres un otro cafecito o qué?
No, de hecho, ¿por qué no nos vamos de aquí y vamos a tu casa, papi?
I got bad news, bro. That probably ain't gonna happen. It's up to you to take her on the journey of a fun date that potentially leads to a hookup. She ain't gonna do it for you, and when you don't do it, it shows that you lack purpose. She's gonna be like, what is this guy waiting for? There's 2 things you can do to fix this. First, do what most guys never do before they go on a date and have a plan. That plan should include what you're gonna do, how you're gonna do it, and how are you gonna get back to your place or her place afterwards for a potential hookup. That way, you're not just gonna be sitting there with your dick in your hands on like the third or fourth drink on a date, wondering what the hell's going on. Second, keep it moving. So maybe you have one drink at the bar, then you go play a little bit of pool, and you ask if she wants to head back to your place for another drink. Or you just have one drink and ask if she wants to get out of there. Whatever the case, keep things moving according to your plan. This is gonna keep things exciting and give you the best chance of hooking up with her and eventually getting the second date.
Don't even care now, all up in Japan right now. I'm pushing for that moolah like a friend out now.
So this is when you try to go all the way with a girl when she isn't really ready or comfortable. So maybe you make out with her for like 2 hours during the date, or you bring her home, start hooking up with her, bring her to the bed, and when you go to take her clothes off, she's like, oh, not tonight. This is bad because it kills the sexual tension for the next time around and also ruins the curiosity. She kind of knows that the next logical step, if there is a second date, is to have sex, and that can make a lot of girls get cold feet. So what's a man to do? Well, there's a couple options you got on your plate. First, you can use sexual innuendos to gauge how open she is to potentially having sex. So one thing I like to do is talk about dancing and rhythm, because that's really connected to sex, right? Having good rhythm means you're probably gonna be good at moving around in bed. So you could be like, oh, so you like to dance? You got some good rhythm or what? If she bites and kind of picks up on what I'm trying to say there about rhythm, then I'm like, all right, she's probably open to doing something a little bit more. Second, if you do take her home, go for the kiss and get a feel for her comfort level. If she stiffens up a little bit, that's a sign that she's probably not ready to go any further, at least that night, and you should cool off. But if she immediately hops on top of you like a cowgirl, get ready for the rodeo.
We act like we're hard to get, but we know this is imminent, cause we keep falling right into it, right into it. We were only...
So I'm talking about weak follow-up texts. So this could either be texting her all day the next day, trying to be your texting buddy, or waiting like 3 or 4 days to text her. And both of these are bad because texting her too much makes you seem needy, and texting her or waiting 4 days to text her makes you seem uninterested. I'm gonna give you an easy solution to this because a good follow-up is key to setting up the second date. So all you gotta do is the next day after the date, maybe in the afternoon, drop her a text with some callback humor and reference something fun that you did in the first date. So if y'all are wearing the same colors, you could drop her a text like, hey Amanda, last night was fun, but we're gonna have to color coordinate next time. This is a simple and fun kind of text, and it's gonna allow you to eventually segue into setting up the second date.
See you, all that I wanted was to tell you that I need you.
So the best time to bring up the second date is while you're still on the first one, and this is what you would call seeding the date. You don't have to set everything in stone like, oh, let's meet up for dinner at Ronzio's at 7 p.m. But just bringing up an idea helps plant the thought in her mind. This makes it a lot easier to set up the date later on when you're texting her, which is why I pretty much do it every single time I'm on a first date with a girl if I'm really digging her. So an easy way you can do it is you could ask her what kind of food she likes to eat, like what her favorite meals are, and then you'd be like, oh, next time we hang out, we gotta cook that. One other thing you can do is figure out what other day she's gonna be free that week and just tentatively set a plan like, oh, let's hang out on Thursday, I'll hit you up, we'll figure out what we're gonna do. Now, if you want more first date tips, then check out this playlist right here. It gives you everything you need to have an awesome first date. Let's keep it going. I'll see you there, homie.